Hi, this video is made for those who have not attended the information session for whatever reason. We would like you to go to your Google Classroom and join the research project student info session. That's a shared Google Classroom for all your research project teachers, except Mr. Rob Love, who doesn't have, as the day of this video, Glenalga International High School email. So we can share this with him. I want you to go and use this code, PE42EG, and join this Google Classroom, because the information I will share with you will be there and all the activities will be there too. Okay, some students have been already joined. Once you have access to this, you will be able to access the material. Now, the top of the list of this classroom, and as you see, due on first week back, 3rd of February 2017, we want you to return to the school and bring to us a proposal, a folio proposal, a folio mind map and lotus diagram for the research question you should clarify with me or your teacher before the beginning of the new year. We don't want you to start researching without a specific research question. Very significant. You can bring the proposal according to the scaffold. You can do some research, but you need to have done the research question. So I will be accepting your emails soon to clarify your research question. Now, this is the assignment we have given to the students when they left the session. When they attend in the first session, they've been introduced to this, and I'm going to guide you through this to understand what's about. So we all use the Glenalga Research Project Google site because we want this site to be our hub and our announcement part. As you see, this is still the old one because we haven't made a new one. Here you can find your assessment plan, the one we share with PayMap and your parents, but your parents can access this site as well. It's open to everybody. So you really will be able here to see the due days, and in red you will see the progress markers. So once you come, because week 1 is done, not important, here you need to have final proposal, mind map and reflection and everything. On week 6 you need to have 6 folio pages, and then by week 10 you need to have finished all these 10 folio pages I'm going to explain. Meanwhile, by week 9 the folio should be almost finished. These are the final touches you need to put in there, because by week 9 we will need to have a peer assessment activity, which means that you have a folio of research ready for your peers to assess and give you advice, and also get some advice. In term 2, you need to complete the outcome of the research. We have 3 weeks for this because, don't forget, we have some holiday weeks to work on the outcome. And then we have 3 more weeks for the evaluation component, which is also very significant. I want to bring your attention to the fact that the outcome, the blue one and the green one, are due in the last 6 weeks of the semester. This is semester. Everything finishes here. We need to send it to SACE. And these 2 parts that they have to be finished within these 3 weeks, the first part and the second part in the other 3 weeks, it is valued at 70%. So all the research, 10 weeks, needs to be brought up together in a compilation of the work and then the evaluation of the work in the last 6 weeks. These are the hardest part. This is something I need to go through this later, but all the information I just clarified with you also can be found here. If you go to research project, you will see the 3 components of the research project, which are the folio, 30%. We give 10 weeks for this because actually the research takes time. The second part, it is the research outcome, 40%. We want it by week 3, term 2. And this is the evaluation. We want it for the long weekend of June, that is week 6 of term 2, because we need to moderate it, we need to give feedback to you, and we send everything to SACE sometime between the 15th and the 19th of June. So again, 30% the folio, 40% the outcome, 30% the evaluation, but the evaluation is the external component. It's like your exam. Let's go back to the site, because it's very important to remember what else we have there. Except for the program and the sources you can find on the site, we use it as an information hub. Okay, all the announcements, they will be available here. If we had feedback from the students, which we had last time, if we need to give you tips when you write your outcome, if we need your advice how to write the survey email or the interview email, which one you send to your schoolmates, if you need to have access to the survey tool, if you need to have access to an expert in your area, or if you, for example, I'm scrolling through that page even further. If you want to have information on how to use SurveyMonkey and cross-tabulate your data, if you want support from an expert in your area, if you want to be linked with the submission folder where you submit your work, if you need to access the academic integrity policy and sign for it, if you need to see past student work all of them, they will be available in this path. So it's very important for you to be able to access the information we announce all the time. The other thing we need to remember, you need to sign and bring signed by you and your parents this ICT safety and online release form for the research project. We need to store your work online and you need to have access to this. So if you click that link in the Google Classroom or the second link in the Google site, you will be able to access the information we use, and you need to be access the form we need you to sign. If you're adult like us, you sign this, but if you're a student, you need to sign this. And that was an old form, but we will need you to sign this form if you're going to participate in the Research Project Expo or to the expo we're holding within the school, and in general when you're going to upload the work online. Also, we want you to be aware of the policy we have on work completion. By the beginning of the year, we're going to send you a letter, and to your parents as well, which you will need to sign and acknowledge that you understand the process of this work completion policy. If you don't give the work to us on time, we will need to take you out of your class because it is a compulsory subject, research project, and you will not get your Cs unless you complete it. So we will need to take you out of your subject to finalize research project, and we will need to take you to the senior tutorial or to the pod to complete your work. On the flip side, if you have the ability to comply with the due date, you may have the ability to leave the school grounds and do your research by yourself or work at home. That's very important. That's a right for those who work by themselves, and we don't want those who misuse this right to fall behind. Therefore, if they fall behind, their right to leave the school grounds will be revoked. But this is the process that we want you to understand. Step one, if you don't finish the work first time, we consider as organizational issue. We give you some time so you can finish the task within the same day. And we are going to notify your parents. If you don't complete the work, we can give you one additional day, but then you're flagged red. If you don't complete it within a day that you work, this is behavior issue, and as such, we are going to flag it and we alert for it, and then if it's not done within the next lesson, the 2 days, you are going to be sent to pod or senior tutorial, or you will need to work during your program X with us. Of course, as everything, we want you to read our policy and the rationale of the policy, and we will ask you to acknowledge this policy. We're going to share this with you, and you will need to click that and accept that you will comply with the rules and the time frame the assessment is due. Something else we need you to remember is that It's very important for you to adhere to academic integrity. We're going to share with you past student work, and we want you to be able to access this past work, but we check everything on Turnitin, and we are having everything online. So whatever has been found complying with the previous student work or have a similarity with the previous student work, it will be referred to SAIS and sent to SAIS as plagiarism. This is the academic integrity policy the research project is adhering to, and we would like you to go through this and read it. And we have some interactive online tutorials to understand what is collusion or what is copy and paste plagiarism and how it is plagiarism to change content and make it with your own words. Whatever you've been told in year 8 and 9, that paraphrasing is okay, it is not okay for the research project, it is not okay for the university. Paraphrasing, it is kind of plagiarism. This is why we want you to use referencing and acknowledge every source you use, and this is the way you can avoid the plagiarism. Whatever you say needs to be, and it's somebody else's idea, not your own research, needs to be referred to. Okay, we can go through this and click the links and find what actually it is the plagiarism through paraphrasing. So you can go through these online tutorials. They are made by the Monash University, and it is find and replace plagiarism, which is the paraphrasing. You can start this tutorial and you can see how this is explained in detail. Okay, so can be in coding, can be in text, can be anything, and really you need to understand that this kind of change, it is considered plagiarism. And they will be found, these plagiarism attempts, they will be found on Turnitin. So you can either go to these interactive online tutorials from Monash University and do them by yourself, or you can click on these ones here and you can find what it is. For you need to understand that collusion is unauthorized collaboration or assembly of work. What kind of work? Accessible work. So if you use a tutor to help you and give us the work your tutor has prepared for you or with you, this is collusion. We need to report it. This is why if we realize something like this, we will force you to repeat your work as we have done in the past often. So you can go here again and find all these kind of altogether, all these different types of plagiarism or bridge of academic integrity. Okay, again, it is here. You can find it through here, or you can find it through here. It's the same thing. What we would like, these are the same things, and they explain how people can watch this information. What we want you to do is that you can also access this research project, research approaches and practices site, which is a site within our research project site, and you can go through this by yourself. It is easy to go, it has a lot of videos, and see what it is related to planning the research, and what components you need to go through planning your research. The videos are easy to understand. You can see how you can narrow your research, how you can create a good question, how you can comply with the ethics of the research, and all these things that probably they are usual and useful. And then you can click on the development of the research, and you can understand that there's a difference in the interview. We analyze the qualitative data of an interview, and we have strategies to analyze an interview. And also there's a different way to make data and collect data from a survey, or how you need to write survey questions, how to make survey questions correct, and extract the information from these questions. This is very important for us. You need to do that by yourself. We're going to go through this very quickly, but if you start researching during summer, you need to go through this very well. It's a good idea to go through these little videos talking about quantitative and qualitative research and how you can find this information. There are advices how to search on the internet, how to search Google correct, or how to use Boolean logic, the and commands. Okay. We have some sources. You can always go through these sources and understand how the information goes, and you can understand what inferential and descriptive statistics are and how you can use this kind of descriptive statistics, but you never use that. Probably you're going to use the descriptive statistics. And this is what will be of use for you to develop your research. And when you synthesize the information, this is what you need to do. Mainly use information in the data and then put all the findings together. So 1, 2, 3, make the folio, and review and evaluation of your research will be part of your evaluation later. So there you have to discuss reliability and validity, threats for validity, and types of bias. So you can watch this here, because in your folio you can discuss reliability and validity of your sources and the bias of your sources. All this information we want you to go through in a mode of a paper. It can be found here in this part, year 11, the program to introduce the research, or it is the one you can find here, 1 day research program skills. This is the site. Yes. So if you go here, review and evaluate, and then at the bottom here, you can be moved to this. Okay. The same thing, you can access it from here. The same exactly. So there are many ways not to be lost. This is the program you actually can follow. It is a teacher and student guide. It is like your checklist, what you really need to go through by yourself. And it was made for the research program X, but you can use it now. We have used it in the introduction day, and it takes you through all the steps we would like you to try. Okay. We had time with the students in the school to go through this, but this is something that you could substitute. Using that, you could substitute your options. And Again, if we go here, last but not least, this is a to-do list. In other words, if a semester of year 11, which was semester 2 2016, that's why it says dear semester 2 research project students, and in the semester you're going to take research project, you need to go through this, and this is your checklist of what you have to finish. Remember, we said academic integrity, the monitoring work completion, the IT safety, go through all these MONAS university training things, complete the tutorials, and then once you read the quantitative and qualitative research, planning, refining your question, you can start working on the capabilities. If you click here, you will be taken to the capabilities. For example, this is how you will be moved there. Yeah, the hyperlinks are working. And once you finish the capabilities, reading about the capabilities, you can start creating a mind map through the bubbles, or make your own lotus diagram. For example, this is a lotus diagram information, and you will be able to find the work and put the work in here. Now, what else I would like to show you through here? Yeah, it's a blank template on the Lotus diagram, and you can download it. You can find examples of the Lotus diagram, so you can understand how it works. Sorry, and sorry, I think I clicked. This is how explains how you make a Lotus diagram. Okay. We call it also LilyPad. Where else you can find all this? If I go to the site, sorry, I have opened too many pages here. Let me close them. If you go here now in the planning and development of the research, if you click in the planning, the research, you will be able to find whatever you need to bring to us. So the mind map, the bubble us tool, you can find it online. Or you can find the mind map, make mind map, the Lotus explain, the Lotus template, and Lotus example. For example, something I made. Yeah. And you can see how the types of the dogs and cats can be here, or the breeders can be analyzed further here. Last but not least, you can use action plan of your research. Action plan is good organization of your research because it takes you to a kind of timeline of the research and what you need to do in this research, how you need to do it, how you're going to get information, which method you're going to use, what evidence you will use that you have collected. So this is an example of an action plan in the previous activity I have done. What else I would like to... Also, these are the ethical understanding dot points, and If you need a scaffold for proposal, you can click either here or you can scroll down here and find the proposal scaffold. Okay, so you can download it and you can write it, keep writing here. That's an idea, that's guidance. So your proposal has to be somewhere there, and we want at the end to compile all these things you type here and put them together and give it to us as a sample. If you go back to the site, I want you to be able to see past student work samples, and they are here, past students from 2015, and you can find some work here, or you can go here and find some more work of students 2015. We're going to put also 2016 merits for you to use, but be aware that we don't want you to copy and paste. We want you to be advised. For example, this is a folio of a student who got merit on 3D printing organs, and this is what will be that was his final program. So that was his proposal, what he wrote in the beginning, and that the post-research reflection. That was his mind map with post-research reflection. That was his action plan and the timeline. And that was actually what we wanted to start doing. And that's the paper I have there on how to source analyze. We want you to go and put some resources you have and start analyzing them in this manner. Comments on what you get out of this, comments on things you need to research further. This is one document with the person thinking on what this information is given to him, and these are the key points of the research, and this is kind of validity and reliability of the research. That's a sample. That's another sample where the student got actually this and understood how people can 3D print hearts and organs. And these are the key points, the comments are the key points of his research. How significant was this for him? So you can go through this and you can see different kinds of merits. For example, this one here, it is completely different. It is on stem cell. It has a completely different format. Okay, so students differ from each other. Yeah, that's a proposal in the timeline, and this is the mind map, and this is the analysis, capabilities analysis, journal, secondary sources analysis, annotations, credibility of the sources, bias and relevance. So go through this and start having an idea. Please contact me as soon as possible in order to be able to clarify your research question. I know the video was long. I know you may not be able to understand my accent. Try to listen it again. Thank you very much.